Tonight, David Goldstein confronts a man who may be selling patients false hope and at a high price.
And David is here now with his newest undercover investigation.
Yeah, a lot of money involved that people are trying to get people to pay. Well, tens of thousands of dollars for people who have tried just about everything. Now, we've heard of stem cell treatments being touted as a cure for anything from joint pain to cancer. The injections are right now in the clinical trial stages. We went undercover and found people promising a cure for a big price.
Stem cell therapy can potentially regenerate every area of your body.
It's being promoted as the new panacea for pain relief,
Stem cell therapy is successful in any kind of joint.
with claims of government approval.
So this is all FDA approved.
But is it? Aren't you selling people false hopes for thousands of dollars?
Ooh, I don't sell anything.
Stem cell treatments in the U.S. are in the clinical trial stages. The cells can be injected in different parts of the body in the hopes of repairing and regenerating new tissue.
So we're the Orange County Stem Cell Institute.
With hidden cameras, we went to this free stem cell seminar in the city of Orange. It's put on by the Stem Cell Institute of Orange County, which touts the benefits of stem cell treatments on its Facebook page.
My name is Izzy, or Israel.
The seminar was conducted by this man, Israel Matos.
I'm a physics major from UC Santa Barbara.
He made a point to say he wasn't a doctor, but spoke of the powers of stem cells.
Stem cells don't just mask symptoms, they actually heal the underlying cause of your problem.
Matos told our producer the treatment is approved by the federal government.
It has to be approved. It has to be. There's no way they can't do it. We'd go to jail.
And that the Orange County Stem Cell Institute is associated with UC Irvine, which has its own acclaimed stem cell research center.
The Orange County Stem Cell Institute is located at
UC Irvine, yeah.
At UC Irvine.
Yeah. So they have a whole thing there.
Okay.
And the injections aren't cheap, anywhere from $6,000 to nearly $20,000, and not covered by insurance. But just who is Israel Matos?
I thought it was probably a sham.
90-year-old Jean Gallagher, who has problems with both of her legs, went to his seminar and then did her own research. What'd you find out?
That he's a television actor. And I thought, Jesus, you folks. And I started really getting mad.
Perfect time for a last-minute miracle.
That's right. This is Matos in a movie called Christmas on Salvation Street.
I'm not sure what good you think will even come out of that.
Christmas on Salvation Street? You're an actor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that make you a stem cell expert?
Does it make me, do you think it makes me a stem cell expert?
I'm asking
if
the
I'm
question.
a doctor?
Does it make you a stem cell expert? You're an actor?
That was my answer.
Okay. Then who is the stem cell expert? Matos' slideshow pointed to Twins Physical Medicine, where potential patients were told they could go for an exam. Twins Physical Medicine is also Twins Chiropractic. They have 4 offices here in Orange County, including this one in Garden Grove, but none of them are located at UC Irvine. Hey, doctors, I'm David Goldstein with CBS 2 News. Can I talk to you guys for a second? Twins is actually run by identical twin chiropractors, David and Daniel Clements. We went to one of your seminars, and your spokesperson, Izzy Matos, you know him, the actor?
Yeah.
He said it was associated with UC Irvine, and in fact was located at UC Irvine. Is that a true statement?
You know, I'd love to talk to you guys.
David didn't want to chat, but Daniel did. He's saying you're part of UCI.
No,
that
he's
located...
not. No, he's not.
At UC Irvine, yeah.
At UC Irvine.
Yeah.
Is that true?
No.
That's not true.
That's not true.
And what about the claim of FDA approval?
It has to be approved. It has to be.
Are these shots FDA approved?
No.
He said FDA approved numerous times. In fact, he said we'd go to jail if it wasn't approved by the FDA.
We'd go to jail.
These shots are not FDA approved, are
No.
A lot of it is hope.
Jonathan Thomas is chairman of this California state agency that funds stem cell research. He says the hope is one day to be beneficial in developing cures and treatments, but it's not there yet. Even so, people are trading on its promises.
If you're sitting out there listening in the audience with all these things that have not been either clinically tested or approved, you're dealing strictly with hope. And hope can be very persuasive.
Aren't you selling people false hopes for thousands of dollars? Now, experts say what these doctors and many others are doing are operating within a gray area of the regulations. The injections aren't illegal if done properly, but what they promise hasn't been proven by any medical science, at least as yet. They hope sometime in the future.
And that's really too bad because there's so many people suffering from arthritis and that have so much pain.
Exactly.
That something like this, if it works, it would be fantastic.
And
but
it
you
could
just don't
work,
know.
but it's not definite. And for $15,000-$20,000,
You want
it may be,
something-
From a
maybe nothing.
chiropractor.
Yeah,
Yeah, a medical office.
A medical
medical office. You want something definite.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, David.
David, thanks.